We're next going to talk about goals as a critical part of the IEP. Just with uh, present educational levels, sometimes goals can be seen as a nice piece of information, but just as a prelude to the main course of specially designed instruction, therapies, supports, accommodations. But goals are very important. As you may have heard me in previous recordings talk about IEPs being based on the medical model. Same thing with goals. When you go into a hospital with a serious issue, they identify where you're at, but also where we want to get you to go forward with the with that hospital stay. What is the process that we're going to use to try to find a situation where you can leave the hospital? So what is the goal? What are we trying to get you to? Similarly, in business, studies have shown that businesses that are successful have a written business plan. And again, the model is very similar to an IEP, but it has goals. Where are we going to get to in our business in a year, in 3 years, in 5 years? The more that goals are set and that they're ambitious but reachable, we see that children tend to achieve at higher levels. Whether that is because they have something to point to, something they can see, something on the horizon. The research does tell us, though, that establishing clear, objective, measurable goals are things that move children towards independence and self-sufficiency. So there should be a goal in every area where the child either needs specially designed instruction or a related service, typically a therapy, occupational, speech, physical, and sometimes other forms of therapy. But so we need to have a statement of where we expect this child to be in the course of the year that the IEP is in place. It should be objective. In other words, not Jimmy will improve his reading skills. That's neither objective nor measurable, both of which are critical for goals to be proper for an IEP. So, hey, I always say, I hope I improve my reading skills, but that's not the issue. The issue is uh, uh, specifically how is he going to improve those reading skills? And as we've talked about in other recordings, uh, for example, in reading, there are many components. If that child's need is in fluency, we want to say that he will get to from 50 words per minute to 75 words per minute or 90 words per minute with 90% comprehension of what he's read. So that's objective, it's measurable, and it's not just, well, I think he's gotten better at reading. It's we can show he's gotten better at reading, or we can show that he hasn't, in which case we can modify the instruction, especially, and we'll talk about this in progress reporting when we get there. It's very important to have that objectively measurable goal so that we can identify whether whatever specially designed instruction and services the kid is getting are working. So if it's not measurable, if it's not objective, it's so easy to just dismiss what has occurred as being the kid's not trying hard enough or something like that. So we really want that goal to be something that anyone can look at, an outsider can look at, a independent evaluator can look at, and say, okay, this goal is something that has been met, hasn't been met, and if it has been met, then you look to what will the goal be for next year? How do we build upon that success? If the goal hasn't been met, then we need to really assess what has happened in this child's life educationally during the last school year, and how do we adjust what we've been doing so that measurable, meaningful progress can be made towards that ultimate goal of the greatest level of independence and self-sufficiency that we can anticipate for the child. So we can't underestimate, once again, the importance of goals. In only in the rarest of cases should a goal be the same year to year. If it hasn't been met, we need to know why it hasn't been met. If it has been met, then it should be built upon with a higher goal for the next year. But simply repeating goals over and over again indicates that there is a gap in the specially designed instruction related services, supports for school personnel that has caused that sort of deficiency in meeting that goal.